So over the last couple of weeks, a lot of students have reached out to me that they failed their PRECAS interviews. And I've been wondering, why is it so difficult for people to pass their PRECAS interview? They're just basic questions and answer. So I decided to do a video to answer all the basic PRECAS questions that you might actually get. This is like the same questions that most universities are going to ask you, and they're just straight to the point questions and answer. So if that interests you, draw to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into this video. Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Dami. I'm an international student here in the UK, and I talk about the UK lifestyle, study like the UK, and everything in between. And if you're a returning subscriber, you already know how we do it. I love you guys. Thank you for always coming back. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into the video. So in today's video, I'm going to be outlining all of the possible questions that you're going to get during your PRECAS interview. And bear in mind that if you do not pass your PRECAS interview, then your university is not going to issue you a CAS. That means you will not be able to proceed to the visa stage. So you want to take it seriously. You want to prepare as much as you can. So if you are actually able to listen carefully to all of the questions I'm about to outline in this video and the answers I'm going to be giving, then you're surely going to pass your PRECAS interview straight up. One of the most common questions you're going to get is, why do you want to study in the UK? Or why do you want to study in Canada, or whatever country you want to study in? It is just a basic question. They want to know why, and you must have a reason. So you want to give them answers like, UK is one of the best in the world, and the qualifications in the UK universities are recognized globally. So some interviewers will tell you, what about Canada? What about what about Canada? What about US? So that is where it gets dicey. So you have to have like backup plans when you're answering. So you want to say things like, especially maybe you're from Africa, depending on where you're from, you can use the second answer I'm going to give you. You can say that if you're from Africa, let's say you're from Nigeria, Ghana, countries like that, you want to say that UK is like one of the closest countries to your own country, because if you want to go back home, you don't have to spend 13 hours, you don't have to spend 20 hours, you don't have to spend 48 hours in transit just for you to get back home. That within 6 hours, you're going to get back to your own country. That is why you want to study in the UK. That's actually another answer, okay? Another answer to this question is the fact that UK universities are one of the fastest universities in the whole world. When it comes to master's degree, you can actually get your master's degree done in 1 year. That's a very, very good selling point, especially if you're applying for a master's program. If you're applying for an undergraduate program, you can look for another answer, because it feels like most of the universities in the world actually has the same duration for an undergraduate. So for undergraduate, if that second answer doesn't work for you, you can say something like, UK is one of the warmest countries in the world when it comes to admitting international students, and there are a lot of international students studying in the UK. That's like another answer you can give. And you can as well give answers like teaching methods, methodology. You can also say that UK is like one of the safest countries for international students to travel to. You can compare it to countries like the USA, where they have, gun issues. You can just just look for something that's going to be exciting, so that they can know that yes, you're really, really interested in studying in this country. And this doesn't have to do with studying in the UK only. If you're studying in Canada, you just have to Google something that is actually interesting, that is different, that country has, that other countries doesn't have. So if you say, I want to study in the UK because of this, that, they're going to ask, some interviewers might ask you questions like, okay, what about this country? Why didn't you consider this country? So you must have a reason, that you want to like give. That's why I've given you like different examples so you can pick from. Okay. So before we move on, it is UCAS season, and my undergraduate students, I'm sure you've gotten your offers. Congratulations. So what is next? So I know you're confused about deadlines, accommodation, where do I go from here? What do I do? So I'm going to be breaking down everything you need to know in 3 simple steps so that you don't miss out on anything. First of all, let's talk about accepting your offers so that you avoid costly mistakes. So let's talk about the difference between firm offers and insurance offers. So you need to accept your firm offers as your first choice, and then your insurance offer as your backup choice. So deadline to reply is most likely around June, or depending on your university, you need to find out that. So you're going to ask, what happens if I have multiple offers? So if you have multiple offers, you want to compare the universities based on the location, the ranking, the courses, or everything that you actually or everything that actually matters to you. So you might also want to compare the cost of living, because living in some cities in this UK might be very, very expensive. Cities like London, Manchester. So you want to compare like universities depending on the cities. So cities like, Sheffield, Leeds are still quite affordable compared to London, Manchester. So you want to use that as your criteria for choosing the right option. So what happens if you don't reply on time? UCAS can actually withdraw your offer. So if you are indecisive, you don't know what university to pick, you can drop it in the comment section and I'll actually help you like figure something out. Okay. So step 2 is for you to start preparing for your visa application. So when do you start preparing for your visa application? Once you get your CAS, you need to send in your visa application. And for your visa application, you already know that you need to show a proof of funds. So what do you need to show? If your school is within London, I'm going to put in the fee that you need to have in your bank account like on the screen. And then if it's outside London, I'm also going to be putting, because there's a recent increment, so I need to confirm the figures. I'm going to put it right on the screen for you so that you're sure of the figures. And this money has to be in your bank account for 28 days so that it doesn't affect your visa application or your visa approval. So step 3 is finding where to live, and this is actually very, very, very important. I'm going to advise you to start now, because the competition is really, really fierce in the UK right now when it comes to accommodation. You as an undergraduate, you're coming in, a lot of postgraduate students are also coming in to look for accommodation. So it's always like a first come, first serve crisis, and you don't want to be in that struggle at all. So most students use Amber to find the most affordable and verified student accommodation. They have properties within 5 to 10 minutes from your university, so you don't have to spend a lot of money commuting to your university back to your accommodation. So I'm going to be putting the link that you can use to book your accommodation on Amber in the description bar below, so that you can get discount on the early bird. That they're going to be giving you discount because you're actually applying early, so that you don't get into that last minute rush, or people that will just be coming in September and just be rushing to get accommodation. This is the right time to start looking for accommodation. So this early bird offer actually helps you save so much money on rent, because this country, rent is going to take all your money. So click on the link right now and get started. So UCAS offers are very, very exciting, but don't wait till the last minute before you start taking actions, especially when it comes to your visa and your accommodation. So I will encourage you to share this video with your friends that also got their UCAS offers, so that they can actually know what to do. If you want more guide regarding your application or what next to do, you can drop a comment below. I'm going to be excited to assist you from here. So let's get back into the PRECAS interview questions. So another common PRECAS interview question you're going to get is, why do you want to study your course? And this is personal, because it's personal to you. The reason why you want to study a course is different from the reason why I want to study a course. So for me, I'm going to give my own personal example so that you can actually use it to coin whatever suits you. Because, I moved from quantity surveying to doing an MBA. I studied quantity surveying for my undergraduate degree, and I worked in construction industry as a quantity surveyor and a project manager. So while I was pivoting into doing an MBA, that question kept on coming. Why do you want to do an MBA? Why did you want to move? This like that. So I had to look for a way to link both courses together. And I said something like, okay, as a project manager, I've been able to work in several sectors within the construction industry. I've been privileged to manage projects in educational sectors, university project, bank project, residential, a lot of projects. So one thing that I've actually found that all of these projects have in common is the fact that they are all businesses trying to grow and trying to use these projects to actually develop their businesses. And as a project manager, I believe that you're going to be a successful one when you understand the business mindset, you understand leadership goals, you understand the business perspective, how to drive business profit. That's why I actually decided to do an MBA, so that I can gain more knowledge and I can increase my business acumen, I can increase my business insight, I can gain leadership skills, more communication skills to actually be a better project manager. There's nobody I'm going to tell that will not be like, oh, this one is actually, she knows what she's doing. So you have to find a story that you're going to tell. It doesn't have to be this complex like the way I said my own. It might just be, oh, I want to be a data, I want to study masters in data analysis or bachelors in this one because I want to be so and so. It just have to be captivating, something. It just have to be realistic. You can't just say, I want to study I want to study nursing because I want to be a nurse. Why do you want to be a nurse? Because I want to save young people from so disease, or I want to, it doesn't have to be something impacting. You can't just be blank. You can't say I want to be a doctor just to, be a doctor. You understand? So you have to find something exciting that you're going to say that the interviewer is going to know, okay, this one is serious. So another question they're going to ask you is, why do you want to study in this university? There are a lot of universities in the UK, so why do you want to study in this particular one? So you should have actually done your research. When I was trying to look for a university, I was looking for a university that's affordable, a university that is flexible, a university that has my course modules, university payment flexibility, the affordability, all those things. These are the things I considered. And then I looked at the modules. I compared how the modules actually like relate with what I actually want to achieve with my own course. And I looked at how the course was assessed. Okay, depending on you, if you want an examination, if you want a course that offers examinations and all those things, or if you just want a course that is going to like give you dissertation and coursework and assignments and those things, those are the things that you're going to tell them. This is why I actually chose this university, because in this university, this is how the course is assessed. In the other university, this is how it is assessed. So they're going to ask you, why did you choose this university? Why didn't you like go for other universities? So these are the things they're going to say. Things like tuition, things like location. You have family in this city, you have friends in this city. The course is this one in this university. The course in that one is like this. You have to say tangible things. You cannot just say, okay, because I have friends. That's not a valid reason. Just like can be one of those reasons why I decided to choose a university. Another thing you can mention is the university ranking. Okay, this university has been ranked so and so. This university is this and that. You can talk about the facilities in the university. You can talk about the international students in the university. You can talk about the number of courses. You can talk about a lot of things, because you have to just compare this and that. You cannot just say you chose one university straight and you do not even consider any other one. That is not true. So they want to know why you actually chose their university. Actually one of the most important questions, and they want you to give them like a valid answer. So you must have prepped your answer, checked the university. You need to know about the university. Another question they're going to ask you is questions related to the university, like the university history. They want to know if you actually know this university. So during my own, they asked me about the university, the location, my course module, what the university is known for, all those things, where the city university is located. You must know what the city is known for. You just have to like know about the city. Like Wrexham, for example, they have Wrexham FC. They are known for football. All those things. Your own city will have something that they're actually known for, be it their food, be it their culture, be it whatever that they have. You need to know it. Like me now, I actually learned everything about the university up until the postcode of the university. I gave it to them. It's located to so and so. I gave them the postcode, gave them the address, gave them. So those are the things they want to know. They want to see. They want to be sure that you actually know the university. You also want to mention, the history, when the university was formed. If they have like previous names, things like that. They want to be sure that okay, you're actually serious. You know about the university and you've researched about the university. And it's not just by the way, because they're not going to waste their time on you. There are a lot of students, so they want people that are really, really interested in their university. So you have to prove to them that you know a lot about the school. So make your research, make your findings, know about the ranking, the courses. If you actually get the name of some lecturers in your faculty, that's actually going to like boost your chances. They can know that okay, yes, you know a lot about the school. You can also ask you if you considered any other country aside from the UK. You can use the first answer, just like parabolic the answer, and just make it seem like, oh, this is why I chose the UK over the other countries. And of course, they're going to ask you about your course, your module, um, your tuition, how much is your tuition, how much have you paid, how much is your balance, and of course, your proof of funds. That's like the most important question, and you cannot mess that up. You have to give them a very, very concise answer. And this is where a lot of people make mistakes. They're going to say, oh, the question is going to be like this: how are you going to fund your studies? Or how do you intend to pay your tuition balance? Or they can also ask you, what is your living expenses? It can come in either form. So what you're going to say is, first of all, you need to know what your living expenses is according to the UKVI, and you also need to know what your balance is. So you're going to split it this way. You tell them what your balance is and what the living expenses is. You tell them the pounds equivalent and your currency equivalent, naira equivalent, or whatever currency you are using. and you let them know that you have that amount in your account. So they're going to ask you, how are you funding it? Sometimes they want to know who is funding it. Maybe you're the one funding yourself, or maybe your parents or something. Regardless, it is still self-funded. You are the one funding yourself. So where a lot of people make mistake is they'll say, hey, the money is in my mommy's account, the money is in my daddy's account. As long as the money is not in your account, you don't have the money. So I've seen a lot of students come to me to say, oh, can I use my parents' account? Can I use my brother's account? No, you cannot. That's to be your own account. That's to be in your name. UKVI will not approve your visa if the statement or if the proof of funds is not in your name. So it has to be in your name. Whoever has the money, let them send it to your account. It is until it's in your account before the school will acknowledge that yes. And if you say things like, oh, it's in my daddy's account, they might not give you your cash because they might feel like you might not be able to pay the balance. They might not be able to prove it, and they will just waste their cards because UKVI will not give you visa. So that simple answer can ruin your whole cash process. So just tell them you have the money in your account. So of course you need to know how much it is, and if you can do the analysis for them, like, oh, I have 31 million naira in my account or 50 million naira in my account, equivalent to 14,000 pounds or whatever it is based on so exchange rate, and this is the amount I'm supposed to have. I have this and that. Simple, straight to the point. So another question they might ask you is, do you intend to work in the UK? And they're trying to get out something. And they're trying to get out something. A lot of people will miss that because they're going to say, yes, I'm going to work in the UK, this and that. They're trying to let you know that your first point of call here is your studies. So if you want to answer that question, you might simply say you don't want to work, that you already have all the money. Or if you don't want to say that, you can say, yes, you're going to work, but you're going to work less than 20 hours so that you can focus on your studies. And that is what they want to hear. They want to be sure that you know the restrictions that has to do with working hours. So once you say that you're good, you can as well say if you just want to focus on your studies, you have all the money. Nobody's going to beat you. And also ask you how you acquire the funds that you're going to be showing as your proof of funds. Like I said, if it's your parent that is funding, you can tell them that it's a gift from your parent or a gift from your elder brother or whoever, or you've been working over the years and you've been able to save the money. So if you're saying you've been working over the year, they might want to ask you what your annual salary is. So prepare all those things. It has to just correlate. But you cannot say it's a loan or something like that. They will ask you how you want to pay. What if you don't pay? You just be making that thing too long. This is a gift from your parents. Your parents can fund your education, but it's still self-funded because they sent you that money. All they want to know is that you have the money in your account. That's all. And if they ask you to submit it, submit proof of funds. That's all. Okay, so don't complicate things and say you collected loan or somebody sent you the money, you paid the person back. All those things they don't want to hear it. Just so then you have the money, you have the money. Money is in your account, is in your account, and you can prove it. That's all. Another thing they're going to ask you is your accommodation plans, which is why I always am that people should use Amber. So if you've booked Amber already, you can just tell them that, oh, I booked an accommodation with so Amber. This is the location I'm moving to. And if you've not even finalized it yet, you can say you're already working towards it and you're looking at areas. They will ask you where, and it has to be in that city. You cannot say your school is in London and you're looking for accommodation in Manchester. You're staying with your siblings in Manchester or your siblings in Leeds or in Sheffield. It has to be in that city because they are very, very concerned about you commuting, how you're going to be coming to school. So you have to tell them this is so place. If you know the area, if you know the postcode, tell it to them. They will know the location. They just want to be sure that you're working towards something. They can also ask you how you're going to be traveling when you intend to travel. You have to have all those information. How do you intend to fly? I'll be using Turkish Airlines, I'll be using Airpeace, I'll be using whatever they want to know. So they can also ask you your previous visa status. Have you been ever refused visa from a previous country? Just declare whatever, like I said in my previous video. If you've not watched that video, go and watch it. I've already outlined all those things that you can do that can actually make them deny your visa. So you want to watch that video. You want to be as plain as possible. Tell them if you've been denied before. It doesn't stop them from giving you. You just want to know why, and so that you can avoid it in this application. They can also ask you to mention all your modules and how it actually relates to your previous study. You need to know that that's personal to you. I've already explained my own, so I can relate it to how it relates to my previous studies. They can ask you. And one of the most important questions that a lot of people mix up is this question when they ask you about your future plans. What do you want to do with this degree? What do you want to do after studies? Like I said in that previous video, whatever you're saying, be consistent. If you're saying you're going to move back to your home country to implement the knowledge, the skills you've gained to your home country, or maybe your father has a company that you want to, just maintain it. And if you want to say you want to explore the global market, you want to work in the UK, you want to explore certain industry, stick to that. Don't say I want to go home in interview and your personal statement or in the visa application process you're saying you want to stay in the UK. Just be consistent so that you don't complicate matters, because they have records of everything that you said. So, just be plain. And of course, you have to say something reasonable, something that is going to be exciting, not I'm going to look for work. To do what? You're going to look for work to do what? Okay, I'm going to look for work. I'm going to like empower. So maybe you want to like go into academia. Maybe you're going to say you want to like extend your research into what you've learned during your masters. You want to pursue your PhD program. You want to like empower youth, or um you want to increase so and so in the you want to increase so and so, or you want to advocate for so and so in your field of interest, or you want to eliminate so and so, you want to build sustainability, you want to improve, just something interesting. You have to think about that. And you can also use ChatGPT to actually help you, develop what, if you don't have anything in mind. Okay, what can I do with this so and so degree? How can I impact the economy? How can I do? They just want to see that you have an impact. Not that you just do a master's and you throw it somewhere, you can't really do something else. They just want to know that you have an impact, and that master's or that bachelor's degree you want to do is going to like positively impact you and then your own country or the UK. Do you get? So I forgot to say this. When you say that your parent is going to be funding you, some interviewer are going to ask you, what is the annual income of your father or your mother or whoever has deposited money into your account? They might not ask you, but some people might. They just want to just screw you a bit so that you don't go and fall. Don't go and fall. You have to like plan that thing in your mind. Okay, before somebody can give you 50 million naira, what is the annual salary of this person? Okay, my father owned so and so company, and this is their annual income. Just something reasonable. Not that your daddy is maybe, works somewhere as, somebody that doesn't earn too much and you are claiming that they gave you 100 million. Do you get? So just plan. It's just all about preparing. This interview is straight to the point. Just prepare. And these are the basic things that they are going to ask you. Lastly, I think they can also ask you if you've considered studying any other course aside from the one you've chosen. If you've considered it, explain why you're choosing the one you're going with. And if you've not, tell them you've not. So that's like basically all the questions they're going to ask you. Like basically, why do you want to come to the UK? Why do you want to study your course? Why did you choose this university? What do you know about this university? What is your course of study? How much is your balance? How much is your proof of funds? How did you get the money? When are you going to return back home? Those basic questions. Where are you going to be living? So accommodation is important. So that's why I say use Amber. It's very important. Yeah, so that's like the basic questions. And if you have any question that you're looking for this best answer to give, you can drop it in the comment section and I'm going to be responding to you. And if you've been able to learn one or two things from this video, do also like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.